So my solo game is purely playing this game as an RTS. And at this point, I've got a fairly competent space empire going. So I just figured I'd check that out, because I saw a couple of people asking in comments, oh, do you have to do the first person thing? I'm not so good with that. Get sim sickness. It's like, no, you don't. If you just want an empire manager, then you can totally do that. And you can still go to different stations. Like, you'll never have teleporting, I guess. But you can go to different stations because you tell a ship to fly to you. You get on the ship and then tell the ship to fly to the other station and just wait and then get off at the other end. Can you go crystal mining without manual piloting? I do not believe you can. Oh, my lord. It's been a while. It's been ever such a long time. Or it feels like it. I don't know what we were up to. Hello. Boron statue. Ah, yes, the Asadai method. Follow the universe's direction while slowly nudging it when you want. Yeah, more or less. Let me quickly get some hydration whilst Aavak finishes the last 5 minutes of preamble. Okay, road train. I'll wait for you. Yeah, X generally lets you do an amazing amount of stuff purely through the I have people who will do that for me layer. And I love this. I absolutely adore that function. I absolutely adore that function. But yes, my character in game, very serious roleplay. I am at my desk doing my admin stuffs. But the thing with not having the main PlayStation, you'll never have things like research. So there will be certain functionality that you won't have. But in terms of the wider game, I don't think it really matters. You are going to be able to have an entirely enjoyable experience of this 4X game. Well, not even 4X really, but this space sandbox game without ever having to manually pilot a craft. If that's not your thing, doesn't need to be. I love that. I absolutely love that. Wish you could do the terraforming stuff without the PHQ. Ah, is that something that's locked behind it as well? Yeah, there'll be things that if you need it if you need the PHQ for that, then that's going to be something you can't do. Yeah. Yeah, realizing I didn't get transporters until I did the story is what made me start that earlier than planned. Yeah. Right. Okay. So I need a recap on what the heck we were doing. So we've got the Deathcrawler Station. How is the Deathcrawler Station set up? Let's have a look at you. Currently got a docked ship. It's Lady of Distrust. Actually, that's our combat ship, yeah. It's got a bit of cash in it. We're not building anything currently. What are we doing? We are, I think, buying and selling Claytronics, buying and selling advanced electronics and antimatter converters, and producing and selling energy cells. Let's go over to the station. Yeah, that is exactly what we're doing. We're trying to buy some bits and bobs for the updating our drones, but we've got 10 combat drones. We're trying to bring it up to 30 defense drones and 15 repair drones. Oh, we need the advanced electronics and antimatter converters for research. Right. We're buying Claytronics and hull parts for a reasonably good price. Medical supplies as well we're buying. Honestly, I don't know. I feel that now I know a lot more about stations. I don't really need to do it too much with this one. We've got a couple of landings over here. What are these? So that's small containers. These are just container storage. So honestly, I could just let this station make energy cells and sell energy cells, and it would be perfectly fine to do that. And never have to do anything other than that. I mean, it's a very large station, so it's an awful lot that I can play with if I want to. And then there's a part of me that thinks that not making use of that to its fullest would be a bit of a shame. But, you know, it's a thing that we can do. Let's see.
I was asked to drop my cargo.
Well, don't. Let's see. I guess I should probably go and check in on that, since the last time that was going on, we lost a ship. Where are you? Who just said that? I don't see them. Anyone? No, it doesn't look like it. I'm not really sure that we really need to do anything more with this station. And later on, though, we can move it, but right now, just producing and selling energy cells is more than enough. We've got 4 million, and that's enough for me to put together a little mining station. Question, Aavak. In the Aavakiverse, is X4 in far distant future in relation to... Well, you know what? Okay. I've had this idea of having the Aavakiverse, the Aavak cinematic universe, if you like, the ACU, where we will game through several games and kind of wibbly wobbly or hand wavy them into the same continuity. I had this idea for Stellaris, for Shadow Empires, for X4, for Distant Worlds 2. But now Terra Invicta. Terra Invicta, I feel, should like, if we were playing humans, we could just jam that right at the beginning of the queue. There's a game start with the PHQ unlocked from the start. I have a 60-hour save game with that start, and the stats tell me I sat 50 hours in that jet. Wow! Bretta, I've not looked at custom game starts. If you can start with the PHQ, then yeah, then that means that you can, for all intents and purposes, play this game entirely without ever... Oh, it's not even a custom start. Oh, okay, that's very interesting. So yeah, then in that case, you can play the game entirely without having to ever fly the ship by yourself. It's one of the default starts. That's amazing. That's absolutely amazing. Okay. Though I still find throttles on spaceships weird. There's no resistance slowing you down. You usually don't want constant thrust. You want to burn however much will get you to the desired speed and then stop. I mean, that's how I use my throttle. My throttle is basically my accelerator. Like I don't have flight assist to slow me down unless I turn it on. I've got a toggle for that on my throttle. Like if I want to suddenly brake, I'll zero my. I'll likely already have my throttle zeroed, and I'll press that button, and instantly it'll try to bring me to a stop. It'll try to match the level of my throttle to the level of speed that my ship is capable of going. But then again, you've got to accept that this game doesn't act like Newtonian physics would have it act. Otherwise, you'd be able to get up to speed of light. You know, we seem to have an inexhaustible supply of reaction mass for our thrusters, but there is a top speed for our ship. That doesn't make sense. In space, there is no top speed. If you keep applying thrust, you keep getting faster. And also heavier. But, like most space games, they don't really model that exactly. Okay. The HQ start has to be unlocked by finding the HQ once. Oh, okay. That's very interesting, Apple Pie Replica. Thank you very much for that info. That's cool. I'll be sure to mention that then. But yeah, the way I use my throttle is literally just my acceleration. If I thump it to full, then my engines open up completely, and I will accelerate at my maximum acceleration until my ship reaches its max speed, and then I won't accelerate anymore. And if I pull it all the way down, I have no acceleration. My engines are off. My thrusters, I have zero additional thrust being applied to my forward direction. I believe you can set this game to have a setting of bidirectional throttle. In that case, throttle needs to be at its midpoint for you to be at a standstill, but if you edge it forward, then you start to accelerate. If you pull it back, you try to decelerate and reverse. But I prefer this throttle to act more like my just opening up my thrusters. So, you know, at full ahead, my thrusters are pouring their maximum potential thrust into my movement. And then once I reach the desired level, I just pull my throttle all the way back and I stop applying any additional thrust. Because, I mean, this game simplifies fuel and reaction mass specifically. You don't have to fuel your ship. You're not having to carry the weight of fuel on your ship. So if it allowed your thrusters to work the way that they apparently do, without those constraints, then you would be able to have infinite acceleration. You'd just be able to keep pouring more thrust into your ship and continue to accelerate forward. So, you know, that it's understandable. Most games don't model that, you know, accurately. The ones that don't need to worry about you doing stupid things like just accelerating forever until you're approaching, insignificant fractions of the speed of light. Because you have to have the fuel, or again, the reaction mass, to be able to make that happen. And you're going to have a lot of it. So, realistically, you'll never be able to do it because you'll have to be carrying so much fuel at the start to speed up, and then you'll run out of fuel, and then your thrusters will stop. Hyper-efficient ion engines. I mean, there's something to be said about that, but... nevertheless, so anyway, we've got our place here. It's currently selling energy cells, currently buying in advanced electronics and antimatter converters and storage. I want to change that. I don't actually want to purchase these anymore. Or maybe I do. And the trade rule here is that if I'm building something, they'll only build it from here. But honestly, I would rather just build. So I'm actually going to delete this, remove the buy offer, and remove the sell offer, and remove the buy offer, and remove the sell offer, and that's good. That's good. Remove sell offer, remove buy offer, done, and I should be good, I think. I wish these weren't there, but they are. That's just the way it's going to be. I've got 50 Claytronics. You know what? I'll sell them at whatever price. Automatic price. So, someone will eventually buy them at that price, but let's actually not do that. Let's pop it middle of the road. Something like 2,100. They'll get sold. There we are. We'll allow them to build the drones. If I've just got this as making energy cells, that's all I really need. We've got research and we'll occasionally buy stuff for that, and I'm happy for them to buy the stuff that they need at the price that they need it. I'm not going to worry about that one. Energy cell sales, though, I will allow them to sell energy cells. I'm not going to allow them to buy energy cells. We're going to add in a personal rule. No buy orders. Restrict all factions. I'm going to rename this one. No. Own faction only. There we go. Confirm change. There we are. And we'll head back out. I'm going to set that up for the buy order to use own faction only. Whatever. I'm producing my own energy cells. I shouldn't be buying them. And then I will allow them to sell them at whatever particular price they want to sell them at, depending on the amount we've got. Automatic sell amount, that's fine. Just sell them to whomever. 221T is coming in to grab some and then sell on those on. So this will just make me a little bit of money here and there. And that's fine by me. Hey, Elof Heater, thank you very much for the 55 months. And Elmir, how you doing? It's been a bit since I could watch a stream. Well, I'm very glad that you managed to make it today. Right. Now, with all of that done, our research is going to, carry on at its snail's pace because I'm not really investing much into that. We've got a bunch of ships all doing their bits and bobs. Now, I've got a mining fleet, I believe, over here. Okay, so you found something. Moria, you carry on your way. I'm going to change a couple of things up. Right, use global settings. If you come under attack, escape. Comply with the police. If you get harassed by pirates, I want you to escape. I want you to use global settings for this. Use global settings here. Use global settings there as well. And we're going to go in and change our global settings. Global orders. So, standing orders. If we get attacked, escape. If the police ask you to stop, comply. If the pirates harass you, escape. Mark, I don't know what Mark is, but Mark found abandoned ships. Default global response to found lockbox. Ignore it. Default global response to found contraband. Also ignore it. And default preferred build methods, I don't think that really matters. Default setting for automatic resupply, medium. I guess, I don't really know. I'm going to say medium. Default setting for ship, weapon, and turret behavior. Defend, I want them to be set up. Marooning protection. Your ships will wait for you before undocking if you are on the same ship or station. No, don't do that. And your current ship will wait for you when the relief pilot takes over. Yes, do that part. Everything else is okay. Interactive crew requests. Crew notifications. Ticket notifications, that seems all fine. Fire authorization override 1. We're going to call this default fire override. Confirm those changes. This is basically set everyone to honorable. However, I will say, be ruthless with the cock and ruthless with the xenon. If they're attacking us, go for them. Or rather, your weapon systems are free to fire on them. Confirm changes. Okay, good. Yes. Yes, road train, the space train station got hit by a micrometeorite. However, of the potential outcomes, you got probably the best one. You got the 20% chance that the micrometeorite was traveling at such insane velocities that it just punched straight through a weak part of the hull, clean through the other side, hit nothing of significance. They were able to just patch it up with some hull patches and then effect some proper repairs later. You didn't have anything destroyed. We were very glad. Very glad. The train got... No, there wasn't even any particular depressurization. There was no bad things happened at all. We were very glad. Very glad indeed. Right. Okay, so global standing orders. Actually, no. Let's go back to our ships. I would like to check out my ships, all of them. We've got some traders here. 221T. I want to make sure that you're using all of the global settings. Abarash. Yep. All of them. Kempachi, Abarash, Flying Kiwi, and 221T. All using those settings. They are currently all set to just trade for the station. Now, what I'm going to say here is that we don't need this anymore. I think 2 ships will be enough. Honestly, even just the Aberration and the Kempachi would probably be enough to handle this, but I will leave one of the larger mediums. However, Fly Not, what be you? You're a miner. You definitely need to use the global settings then. There we are. Lady of Distrust, you're automatic. You're going to use your judgment if you're attacked. You're going to attack if you're harassed by pirates. But other than that, I want you to use global. Moria, I want you select response. Cancel orders, actually. You carry on your way. Shadar Jar, once again, pretty much our main fleets. I believe you're also drill miner. Yes, you are. Thalotron. Now, what are you currently doing? You're exploring and deploying objects at positions. I think you're dropping down some satellites. I'm actually going to be changing that. But I'm going to give you, yes, escape from trouble, escape from pirate harassment. You can go ahead and mark. But when it comes to lock boxes you find, I want you to automatically collect them. And collect... well... I guess I could have you collecting contraband as well. Sure, you may as well do it. Since lockboxes respawn, there's no reason for me not to tell them to do that. It's not like we're ever going to lose them. Lose something precious. Because they grabbed it and then the police told them to drop it. Unsinkable 2. How marvellous. Vanya, you also need to use your default behaviours. I think Vanya is our Mercury Vanguard, so you're our transporter. And Unsinkable is currently doing an explore. So once again, don't want you getting into a fight. However, I do want you to collect and collect drops. So there we go. That set all of those up. Alright, just catching up on chat at the moment. Road train, really? That quote? Oh, my lord. Aavak After Hours, the only site on OnlyFans where playing with his ferret isn't a euphemism. My goodness. Right, okay, we've got $4 million that we want to spend. If we turn on the mining overlay... Oh, wow, did I actually get every part of this area covered? Looks like I did. Looks like I was incredibly thorough in here. Well done me. Okay, turn that off. What about trade beacons? Do I have any? Yeah, I've got some. Looks like I've actually managed to cover every single station in here. Alright, not too bad. Okay, I think this is going to be a good place for us to set up our first station then. Got plenty going on. And in terms of what we can build, I'm fairly certain that we've got enough to at least get a start. So if we come out of there, go back in so we've gotten rid of the overlay. We want it to be about here. I don't know how big of a station we're going to need. New plot. Create a new plot. I guess we could just plonk it right in the middle there. wouldn't be an issue, I don't think. Second contact factory. Let's go ahead and buy the license. Now, I'd like to change the name of this place. Is that something I can do? Second contact factory. There we go. Now then, chat. We're going to open things up. Now, I'm going to be lazy and I'm not going to set up a new naming game amount. But this is a station, okay? This is a big boy. We're going to hopefully have this for a very long time. So it's not a regular naming game. No, no. Going to need to see 5. 50,000 dapper ducats to have this station named after you. There you go. We will see which dapper barons are hanging out in chat tonight. Oh, I only have 33k, so that's no station for me. Oh, Road Train will pay part of it, so there you go. I guess you can agree amongst yourselves on who gets to name it. But I need to see 5 naming games redeemed. Now, this is going to be a station for managing mining and also some trading. What a shame, the Dapper Barons blew all their ducats on capitalism. Okay, we've got enough names now. All right. G-Man. Oh, actually, maybe G-Man number 99 is going for it himself. Yes, G-Man number 99 went all in with 5 of his own. Okay, G-Man. Are you looking to get this name yourself? I refunded everyone else their points. Let's see. You go with G-Man. G-Man. Tag 99. I suspect 9 wanted a leafy pool, yes. There we are. I think that should be good. Let's lock that in. Okay, G-Man 99.
You should find the teleporter now has a much larger range.
Marvellous. Okay, well, in that case, let's have a look at some more research then. Okay, so we've got teleportation range 1 up. Now, we'd need the Vidium for this one. Plasma conduits, a lot of things. Increase the range of the personal teleporter from within 3 systems to within 5. That's quite large. We've already got production module hacks. Chat, are we going to be criminals? I think we might be. Going out there and stealing modules. Basic chassis mod.
If we wish to improve the fundamental capabilities of a ship, we must first be able to tear it apart and put it together again. For that, we will need nanite technology.
Okay. Duly noted. Basic weapon mods, basic shield mods, basic engine mods. I don't think we need this.
Blueprints by scanning leaks on certain modules.
I think the dock module is what we're going to want to go for. But even then, not necessarily. It's just mostly so I can gain access to these, I guess. But, yeah, I guess we'll grab that one, sure.
I will need some materials to get started.
That's fine. We'll get them over to you now. So, we want... Oh, God, that's going to take a lot. Buying amount, I will allow you to purchase them at a way too low of a price. You know what? I'm going to let you buy them as you can afford them. And likewise, allow these to be bought as well. Don't bother selling them. Just buy them until we've got enough, and then we're good. There we are. That should all be good. Incoming ships selling Claytronics. No. In fact, I want exactly 125. This one should also be buying only the amount that we need, which is 150. There we are. That's all good. Oh my god, these clicky noises, I cannot get over them. They're so good. What? Oh, you're talking about your new browser. The Opera browser, yeah. Alright, so that's all sorted. Right then, let's get into our new station and start having a look at it. Now, the very first thing we're going to want... Oh, wow, look at all of the stations nearby. This area is just surrounded by stations. It's glorious. Okay, well, in the very middle, I'm going to say, more or less, we're going to want a central column, I think. Wonder if there's a way to centralize it. Import, reset to top view. There we go. Go with a cross section. We've got a couple of other base sections. We've got the nice dock, the luxury dock. We've also got a large ship dock. We've got containers, the various containers, solid, regular container, and small regular container. So we're probably just going to go with all in with those. And in production, we have got the ability to make refined metals. So currently, we could bring in ore, make metal with it. We could also bring in silicon and turn that into silicon wafers. I'm not sure if there are any other materials at this location in space, though. Let's have a quick look. Okay, I'm only interested in what we've got in here. So this, Nevidium, ore and silicon. So no ice. Ice, if we look elsewhere, all the way over there, for example. And indeed, there's gases over there as well. And we might end up being able to reach those resources from here, but I'm thinking we'll just set up a basic factory that just takes in the raw resources and converts it into its refined version, and then we can sell that. That way we don't need any haulers that can haul raw resources. We might want gases for that as well, but the gases don't have as direct of a crafting path, I don't think. So if we go to ways and, for example, have a look at hydrogen, it can be used to make antimatter cells or computer substrate. But if you look at something like ore, oh, actually, you can use it to make computonic substrate, actually. I think these are Terran components? I could be wrong about that. Stimulant, silicon carbide. I believe silicon wafers and refined metals are the only things that we're going to be using ore for. I could be wrong about that, though. Right. Well, let's get back in. So, configure station. Top down. There we are. I want a single, for the time being, cross section. Just, let's pop it here. Now I want to... Oh, actually, it's bang smack in the middle. Perfect. It doesn't need to be exactly aligned. I don't really mind. There's neither a pier nor a dock module at this station. Indeed, there is not. You are very... very correct there. How big would that need to be? We couldn't even fit that in this space. So that's a dream for another time. For now, the dream will simply be this. I just need a basic dock. I'm going to need solar panels. I'm also going to need to have storage as well. I could, instead of using these connection points, use the storage instead. Large container is pretty chunky, to be fair. And the solid container, more or less exactly the same. They just have a bit of a different look to them. I'm not sure if I want these to be larger or not. Because if I were to attach this on this side, I don't even necessarily think it'll connect. No, it's a little bit too large. I want a defensible area though. So we're probably going to shimmy things around a bit. Let's disconnect that. And then I'll centralize everything. In fact, let me try this out a little bit of a different shape to it. I want something that's going to look nice as well. I know. I'm already like shush. Okay? It has to look nice. If it doesn't look nice, then what's the point of building it? You know I'm right. You might hate that I'm right, but you know I'm right. Let's center top view. Actually, do that again. And shimmy you up until you're more or less in the middle. Something like that, I would say. Okay. Sort of alright. What I could do is I could have that on the other side as well. Because if I put that there, I think that should do okay. More or less. Take care, Road Train. You have a good night, mate. Now, each one of these, I mean, the cost in building this is going to be fairly extensive, but, you know, that's just the way that's going to be. We're going to want these modules. Eventually, I'm going to want 2 regular containers at the top, 2 solid containers at the bottom. And then branching out to have energy and... because we're going to want to produce our own energy here, but then also the refineries. So, container... I want you to swing on up like so. Then just be slapped on there. And the solid right here. And then once again. Oh, I want to rotate that up. And have that slap on down the bottom. There we go. And eventually we'll do exactly the same on this side. Have 2. So this being said, because I now know basically where I want this to be centered, it would be better for me if I move that around, rotate the whole thing. And yeah, there's no reason why I can't have them fly upside down. If I tell them they have to dock upside down, then they'll dock upside down, because you know what? There isn't an upside down in space. But I know it's going to melt some people's brains, so I'm going to be benevolent. I'll turn that the other way around. There we go. Connection complete. Now the reason why I'm doing this is because we're probably going to pull that part apart. So I can minimize the amount that I need to build here. So we can remove these, tonk, and this, tonk. But that's the shape we're going to do. We're going to have 2 columns of storages separated, and then at the bottom I'll be able to connect them up again if I want to. We will need some capacity for energy production. I'm not really sure what we're gonna do with that, though. In terms of the refined metals, this is not a difficult factory to place. Actually, I tell a lie, it kind of is in a way, because those 2 connection points are kind of in an awkward location for me. Eventually, we're going to want the ability for this dock to accept large ships, and I want all of the docking to be on this middle section. So I'm going to effectively have that mirrored over on this side, And maybe piers coming out to the side. That's what I'm thinking. Do it all at a 45-degree angle. I would literally murder some people in chat. Cold-blooded murder. No. I've got to at least pretend I'm nice sometimes. What are we going to do with you, though? How are we going to place you? There's a few options. I'm going to have to expand the dockyard in order to do anything really funky with it, but maybe I could have these line up the middle. Actually, are they about the same length? I don't think they are. No, they're definitely not the same length, so that wouldn't work. What I was going to do is have them oriented going up and down, but that really wouldn't work out for me. Amanovi, hello, how you doing? How's your namesake station doing? Quite well. I could just wait for this to be finished, but once this is made, it's not really going to do anything. So I do need to have a plan for that. But again, like I said, I want all of the docking to be on this level. So with that said, we're going to want another position up here. I can't even put that in there. That's a bit of a shame. All right, fine. Let's get rid of you then. No. Don't discard them. I just want to... Is there no way that I can just remove this? There we go. Ah, okay. It wasn't actually there yet. Okay. Well, we should be able to shimmy this whole thing down a bit. I think ultimately, though, I'm just going to have to expand the top and bottom a bit to account for what we're going to be trying to build. Alternatively, given what we'll be building is a refined metal producer, I could build these out to the sides and have the piers break off from them. But again, the connection points are a little bit awkward for this. Kind of wish they were positioned a little bit differently. And I have no idea what the silicon wafer factory is going to be like. Exactly ideal. But also not terrible. You know what? My plan is changing a little bit. Okay, so my initial idea was to have this be more of a kind of a central kind of spine going up down. And on the middle would be the docking sort of layer. And then storage is building, being the actual spine. And then at the top, there would be another layer which would branch out into either power or manufacturing. But I could put more of it on the bottom layer. I just think it's going to be less visually striking, I think it'll look much more cool if we go with that initial idea. Also, because at that point, positioning guns is going to give a lot more of the station view on things around it. If we were to confirm this module change, so we need 339 Claytronics, 679 energy cells, and 1242 hull parts. Nothing particularly terrible so far. We're not going to hire a builder yet. What I would like to do is adjust this area. Can I not do that? Yeah, there we go. Right, so G-Man 99. I want you to be taller, please. Let's increase it by a little bit. Oh, no, that's not what we want. That'll be the Y then, will it? Yeah, probably. Make it taller. Make it lower as well. We'll mirror that. Increase the license. That's good enough. And go back to configure station. All right, there we go. Perfect. So with that done, we can have the production facility at the top. And it all depends on how many energy cells this is going to need, I suppose, more than anything else. Let's build a connector. Really? Come on. Okay, fine. We'll just rotate it from here. Of course, now it's like, oh, well, I'm connected, though, so I don't want to move around too much. Scoundrel. Yep. And from there, we'll build out. Can't you rotate the modules you're placing? Yeah, you can. You just need to... It's all based... And that's true in any kind of motion. Basically, it models three-dimensional space by giving you two-dimensional rotation and positioning controls contextually based on your perspective. And what I mean by that is if I move my mouse cursor up and down when I'm holding on to something, it's rising it up and down on this plane. Left and right, exactly the same. But if I were to do that from here, I'm now moving it back and forward and left and right. If I were to rotate by going left and right here, it would rotate it along the axis moving from this side to that side. Whereas if I change my perspective here and I did a rotation, it's now rotating it from the axis moving from here to here. Hopefully that obviously you've got to be seeing what I was describing there for that to make sense, but hopefully it was clear enough.